Howdy folks, can you all hear me? It's cold, yeah, thanks Paul, yeah, I thought it was, yeah, fucking freezing. Good morning, good afternoon everybody, wherever you may be. Let's have a quick check of who's in, let's have a quick look. Participants, we've got Eagle Creek Ben, hello, how are you? Martin O'Keefe, hello Martin. Mick92, hello Mick. Robert's train set has just popped into the frame. Good afternoon, Robert. Signal Cabin, hello. Dan the Man is right here. The Closet Branch, welcome to you. Paul, Wolfsex Enix, good afternoon, Paul. And Woodthorpe International, still can't get used to that one, Colin, but welcome and thanks for coming. Right, let's just go back to, oh, there we go. Right, first time I've actually done that. I've seen other people do that in the streams where they go look at the participants list. Moneybrook Junction, hello Mark, nice to see you. But I've never actually attempted it in a live stream because you literally have to go away from the chat and look at the actual participants. So I've never tried that before, so that's a new one and it worked. And Hi is with us. Hello Hi, how's Dutch Holland today? Probably as cold as we are, which I would imagine, I think outside there it's something like 7 degrees. There's quite a cloud cover, so it's quite dull and dingy, but hey ho, never mind. Behind me today, Mystic Railroad John. Hello John, good morning to you, nice to see you. And Mav, hello Mav. You see, I spotted you. Yeah, it's really difficult to spot people when they pop into the stream. Because if the stream moves fast, then all of a sudden you miss out. Let me just say this. I don't know if any of you have been watching Tony Northeastern and his amazing layout. But Tony's been working on like an island platform. What does he actually call it? Time dock. And it's amazing to see the way he's gone about this. And that's what I like about Tony, is the way he goes about things. And the way he done his penciled method to get everything to clear the platforms. Brilliant. He's obviously taken great pains, I'll come back to that, to get a system where he can just put a pencil down, scribe around the platform, and then everything will miss. Nearly. But yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Now, what happened was Tony did an underpass, a subway to get into the station. And as soon as he mentioned the word underpass, it came into my tiny little shriveled walnut brain that there was a song, I believe it was somewhere around 1980, something like that. It was a long time ago. And it was called Underpass by a guy called, what was his name? John Fox, who used to be with Ultravox. So it was all electronic, weirdy type music. But somebody had convinced me back in the day that what he was actually singing wasn't underpass, it was underpants. And of course, since that point, I prescribed to that. I thought, yeah, that does sound like what he's singing. And I couldn't hear it any other way since then. So as soon as he mentioned that, I have to apologize to Tony. I thought, underpants. And yeah, that made him spit out his coffee. So yeah, apologies to Tony for that one. It's sort of an old joke in my head, and it just came out. But I will say one thing about Tony: he is a genius. Now, if you look at the word genius in the dictionary, it's defined as meaning somebody that takes infinite pains. And that is what Tony does. He takes infinite pains. So for my money, a bit like Colin with his trestle bridge, genius, just stuck with it. He's got a vision in his head. He's just stuck with it and seen it through. So, yeah, a big heads up to Tony Northeastern. He's just passed, I think it's 8,000 subscribers. 8,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for, I wouldn't say Tony's run of the mill. I mean, he's obviously not up there with the Jenny Kirks and this, that, and the other. But for a small channel, absolutely fabulous. So I haven't seen Tony in the chat. There's always time, and I do live in hope. But there you go. Yeah, Tony's a superstar. What have I been running? Wiley Coyote is a super genius, my hero. Yeah, Wiley Coyote, the Acme Explodum company. Brilliant. Today, I am running. Now I'm back on track. Back on track? Does that sound familiar? Yeah. I digress. Photographic Grey. That's the one I'm going today. That way. That one is your classic bullied Pacific. Anthony Dodge, welcome into the chat and good morning to you. Now, Photographic Grey was a bit of an odd one. In the days when they had black and white photography, when these engines were fresh out of the factory, they put them in what they called Photographic Grey to take the press shots. So here's our brand new engine. So they put it into a grey colour, which clued right into black and white photography of the time. Suggestion for a future stream, if I may, Andy, a shunting session in the layout. Yes, that's quite valid, but you need two people really for a shunting session if you're going to do it live. So I would have to have Richard in here with me to do all the fancy stuff while I entertained yourselves. So it's something worth thinking about, and thank you for the suggestion, but I'll take that on advisement. Ivor Van Zon, good afternoon to you. In Germany, it was usually chalk paint that washed off after the ceremony was finished. Well, I don't know what they did over here, Ivo. I got a feeling they used a type of grey primer, and then once the photo session was finished, they then went ahead and decorated the whole thing over the grey. Charlestown Model Railway. Hello, Chaz. Nice to see you. Everybody, welcome, Chaz. Another great channel. Very, very entertaining. Lots of great models. And, yeah, Chaz, a personality. Mick, can't you multitask? That's the kind of thing women do well. Me, I know my limitations, and I think that's half of it. Do you know your limitations? I think Anthony does. I mean, most of the people that are here go into Anthony's live stream on a Friday, and you see what is possible with all of those cameras and all of those trains running. But when, of course, something happens a little untoward, you get a derailment, it's difficult to keep the flow going, and it upsets the person that's doing it. It becomes sort of like a mild chaos. I'm sure Anthony would agree with me, which is entertaining for us, but for the guy who's actually doing it, it's probably not fun. When I had my issues with sound, I found that really tough because my mind was screaming and going 10 to the dozen in the background. And I don't know if I looked serene on the surface, but I was a bit like a duck. Looked serene on the surface, but I'm paddling like mad under the water. So yes, today, photographic grey. This was Richard's suggestion. I think because the models hadn't been out for so long, and you really have to have a fairly good reason to do photographic grey. So I thought I'd break out the silver coaches. And oh, hang on. Hornby brought out their new UK TT stuff to the Inter Model Bow show this weekend. It was almost nothing compared to their European offerings. Yeah, they're small potatoes in a big pond. I just small potatoes in a big pond. That doesn't make sense. Well, maybe it does. I just want to know how long Anthony Deck will remain a deck before he puts a layout extension on it and a bit of outdoor running. Ooh. I'm not sure that would go down well with Joyce. Can't see that happening, Dan. I really can't. Anyone stopping at Brom at the NEC? There's a YouTube meetup. I think it's on the Saturday night, but message Mark from Donegal Dad. Is that this weekend or next weekend? I've got a feeling that's next weekend, is it not? There's Dino! Hey, hello, Dino. There's a wave. No outdoor trains here. Yeah, that was emphatic. As many of you have seen, Eagle Creek Ben has popped out a new video with his new, I think it's something like an SD40, which is a cracking little engine. Little because it's N scale, but they're big engines in the States, no matter which way you spread it. So yeah, for those that haven't seen, take a little time to check that one out. That's a little cracker. Of course, it's got DCC and sound, and I think Ben's had a little trouble getting it matched up with his existing loco. Existing loco, and getting it like that. 27, 28, Andy. That's good, I believe. Is it not? 27 in, 28 lights. Yeah, a 4-axle GP40. Yeah, that's the one. And yeah. So if you haven't seen it already, take a little look over onto Ben's channel and immerse yourself in a little American glory. Oh, as of the 27th, 28th. Yeah, got you, Jake. It's the TH on the end of it, which give the clue away. Tim Maslin. Hello, Tim. Name is the 27th, 28th. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah. It just, aided brain grinds. Thumbs up, thumped. Yes, the more thumbs up, the more YouTube sends me stupid messages and suggestions saying, oh, you really ought to do this, and maybe you've thought of doing that. No. Anyway, what am I running? So we've got a spam can right there. Put in some silver coaches, which roughly match. Hello to anyone I missed. NEC show next weekend. No, I won't be going before somebody asks. That's, I think, Richard's got some over weekend work, so let's put the kibosh on that. And we go as a team. Yeah, Team Blackwell. Yeah, so we go along, and yeah, we know what we like to see. We know what we want to get. Obviously, we've got this agenda, and yeah, we go as a team. NEC is the National Exhibition Centre, but for me, my translation is never ever cancelled. I'll have to read that again. For me, my translation is never ever cancelled. NEC. as it's never ever cancelled. Yeah, I think it's too big to get cancelled. Yeah. Aaronville, hello, nice to see you. How are you? Chelberton Tony as well, hello, nice to see you. Right, I digress. Back to photographic grey. So on one side we've got, there's an interloper, right? That one is a spam can. It does have a number on it, 21C164, if somebody would like to look that one up. Save me getting the box out. Put in some silver coaches. The other side is actually Tornado, 60163. Done out in a photographic grey, and on the tender it's got www.a1steamtrust.com. So that's what it looked like, or would have looked like in photographic grey. Not sure it ever did, because by the time the A1 Tornado come along, we were well into colour photography then. So, but that's roughly what we've got. And I believe, I'm not sure if that's a Bachmann or a Hornby, but I know it's one of these fancy one-offs that they did. Is it possible to pan your camera around the layout? Yes, I can do that. Hi, I have enough inside. Don't need to expand. And there's a cheesy grin. 21C164 is Fighter Command, according to Hornby. Thanks, Ben. Yes, so it's Fighter Command. This one was being a little stubborn yesterday as it come out of its box, but I've given it a little lube, a little cog grease, and it seems to be performing quite well. It's a little heavy on the controller because these are running DC. Apparently it's painting those colours for a few weeks. Thanks, Ivo. Yeah. Obviously Hornby or Bachmann did a limited run of them, and I think Richard got quite enamoured that it was a quirky livery and thought, I must have that. So he got it. But unfortunately, like a lot of these things, it's been sitting in the box waiting for the right occasion for it to come out. I've been watching Tor Valley and Friends on the SVR cams all morning. Tor Valley and Friends. I think that one's escaped me, Ben. Might be worth a peek, though. It's the one in Old Colwyn. Okay, right. Let's do a quick pan around. I can swivel. So we can go that way. I can point you a little bit downwards. Let's drag you down the other end of the PC. How's that? Is that a little bit cool? A bit far for me these days, unfortunately. Hope you do an online shop with it. All right. At the Severn Valley Rail Gala. Oh, yes, I do understand that's been going on. Can everybody still hear me okay? And Kyle Stevens. Hello, Kyle. Nice to see you, man. As you can see in the lower. What about that for a big cock? Cheers, everybody. This is coffee, by the way. That is 56XX. Chris, hello. Nice to see you. Loud and clear. Oh, that's good. No one would ever guess that I like Union Pacific. Well, no, perhaps they wouldn't. But, yeah, I see what you mean. Build in America, my son. Build in America. Yeah, I'm not sure how many Hornby did of that, to tell you the truth. Sean Pacific Railroad is another great American railroader. Oh my God, I'm bored, laugh out loud. I think he's being sarcastic there. Yeah, I got a feeling these come up on the collector's market, if you like, because they're obviously a limited run. Not everybody's going to like it and go out and buy it. So I think with the A1 Trust, I think Richard got that straight away because he'd already started collecting photographic grey. And as you can see, it's quite an attractive livery once you get used to it. Difficult to get something to run with it though. And Dwight Curley, Mr. Tuna can express himself. Hello, Dwight. Good morning to you. Nice to see you. I gather you've got a live stream today. Is that right, Dwight? Tell us a little bit about it. Andy, how many engines have you? Which is on your next list to get? Well, I'll come back to that. Just remind me a little later on, because I want to talk to you about the Hornby Black 5. As many of you have seen, Sam's Trains has just got himself a Hornby Black 5, albeit for a very short time, because according to Sam, he's had a lot of misgivings, sore misgivings. And is it okay to mention my community tab post, Andy? Yes, you can mention it, Dan. That's fine, as long as it's nothing mucky. So yes, Sam got a Friday night special. Iffy paintwork on it. Tender doesn't connect very well, even with its fast release system that they've adopted. Parts of the running gear loose. The rods, the actual nuts connecting the motion on. Motion screws loose. Visible glue marks here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, it's not good. He couldn't even do a full review with it without getting another tender to. Yeah, I mean, he does. Perhaps it does him a favour actually getting these dodgy engines, because obviously with his stature he can rake in all of the views, and if he gets a Friday night special from Hornby or Bachmann or wherever, he will review it, which is what I like about him, as is. He can only review the one he's got in front of him, and if he thinks it's a dog, it's a dog. So I have to pat him on the back for that. I don't like some of his more puerile antics, you know, seeing how many locomotives can actually pull him along the floor or any of that crap. When he sticks to what he does best, he does it very well. I had designs on getting a Black 5, the one with the steam generator in it. But having looked at that model, they spoiled it by splashing too much silver paint on it. Particularly what they've done around the axles and what they did on the smoke box door. I didn't like it. It detracted from the Black 5 that I know. So it looked odd to me. And now I'm in two minds. Chances of getting a dog like Sam, well, yeah, that's a maybe. The entire layout is in photographic grey. Oh, thanks. Right, let's get a bit of a twist around, and you can actually, I'll get out of the way. Difficult to twist the camera and get it up there, a little bit down. Right, I'll get out of the way. I'll sit over this side. So there you can see the backdrop extends around. All right. Here. And up the top, I've got a few. Look, I'm pointing. There's the clock. The old one, the battery ran out on it, and this one's a radio clock, so I know it's accurate. Just coming up to 1:30. Various tin plate signs, and up here we've got Tullyar. There's a piece of stock track which has been cut to about an inch thick. Maybe our BR Black 5 coming out due autumn this year. Yeah, autumn this year. I've got between now and autumn to make my mind up if I want one. So I chatted both Black 5 and they say it was fine. I was looking, but I'll wait for a few more reviews. Yeah, I now know how the smoke unit works on it, the vape unit, which is literally a piezo. There is no fan unit inside it, puffing out the vapor. It's just done on a hall sensor with a small circuit board outside of the vape unit. You've got a sponge in there which sits in the water tank, and the piezo unit sits on top of the sponge, just making light contact and absorbs the moisture and atomizes it. That's the way it works. So it's an intriguing system, which I know TRS have perfected. So I still think if you wanted one of these to work really well, it would be worth approaching TRS on Facebook and getting it done properly. They can do it with steam cocks, and the discharge from the TRS is really impressive. So they've perfected this and they know their stuff. So instead of changing the battery, you change the clock. Jean-Ricard, in essence, you are correct. And good afternoon to you. Nice to see you. Yes, I did. It just happened that way. I didn't do it on purpose. It was just that I didn't have the right battery. The clock was already working, so I swapped them. Buying new Lycos does seem to be a lottery. I've had some that were great and others not so, from all different manufacturers. Yes, it is very much a lottery, and you can always get a bad one. There aren't any guarantees until you get it onto the track and you test it yourself to your satisfaction. Nobody else's, not Sam, not anybody else. You have to take it on face value. But it's always worth taking a deep breath and watching what everybody else's model is like. And that will give you an idea. If 50% of them are bad and 50% are good, you stand a good chance of getting a bad one. But if, like Sam, he's got a bad one, but the rest of them are all good and are very well liked, then you've got a better chance of getting a good one. The all photographic comment Gray was referring to the layout based on brief encounter and was it Gets. Have you seen it? No, I haven't, Mav, but I am aware of it. Yes, I like Dawn Quest. Great vocal tone. I mean, she's a bit like me, like thin and wispy. But I believe Dawn Quest is a journalist, and it does come across that she is quite professional in what she does. And hats off to her. I think she's very good for the model railway industry. She is not exactly without humour because you've got the cameraman in the background, which is a nice contrast. It's a sort of Lady Penelope Parker type of setup, which is, it's good. It's enjoyable. And it doesn't detract from making it fun. On the contrary, it's really good, and I very much like it. So yes, I watched Dawn Quest, and yeah, I know she did that layout, and she will do others. And she did it in monotone, or two tone. You know, different greys, in a similar vein to what they tried to do with the photographic grey. Um, yeah, it works, and it's been good for her. It's been good for the model railway community, and my hat goes off to her. I think she's great. There's Brian. Hello, Brian. Nice to see you. Right, let's move a little further around. Da, 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 da. And there's the station over there. Most of this is a Bachmann station. Why did I pick that? Okay, so I'll put it out to them. Marsh West Junction Andy, hello there. And Digger, nice to see you both. Why did I get the Bachmann station? Come on, somebody. Answer that one for me. What I've seen, it seems the further you live from the UK, the more likely you are to get a bad one. Station Road, Jerry Allen are examples. Yeah. If the model's got further to go, more chance of it being damaged in transit. Christmas Hobby Blog. Hello there. Saw it when I was doing a brake testing. Just prior to that, saw a boiler being built too in Meiningen, Germany. Meiningen? I'm probably slaughtering that. I'm sorry about that. My apologies go out to Anthony Dodge and all of the German speakers and the majority of Germans themselves. Far be it from me to destroy their language. Yes. Yes, welcome to everybody in the stream, including Jean Ricard, because he's such a Danish statesman. Nice to see Dwight Curley in. I didn't see a reply to my inquiry as to whether you're going live today. I believe you are. Is that right, Dwight? Do you have a little show today? Waits for Dwight to get on the tippy tappy. Anyway, getting back to the station. Bachmann scene craft stations are made out of resin, a very hard resin, and they are perfect for shed or loft layouts. Because they're made of resin, they don't warp. They don't seem to be affected by sunlight too much. So for my money, they're ideal. Yes, I know they're expensive, but I'm not going to make a Metcalf kit and watch it warp over the span of a couple of months, because I did that with the platforms and they twisted beyond all recognition in several different axes, not only longitudinally but laterally as well. Pronounced it perfectly, Andy. Meiningen. All right. Oh, thanks, Mav. One tries, but often fails. By the spam I see in the chat, perhaps we've got mother and son rail fans. That will be Tammy and Ray. Welcome to you both. I'm running a little photographic grey today. That's why everything looks a bit dual tone. A photographic grey was used on a factory fresh locomotive when it came out of the works, because all they had at the time was black and white film, and the grey tended to augment the livery of black and white pictures, so they would come out that much better. That was the idea behind it. It obviously worked, or they wouldn't have done it. But what it gave us was a tantalising glimpse of a grey locomotive. And this is what they would have looked like in photographic grey in colour. So, yeah, very much like that. I do have some other. Let me just point you around in the other direction. Right, we've gone as far as we can there. We've gone to there's my little open area at the back there, which I'm still debating what to do with. I think it was going to be some kind of English china clay quarry or factory. So yeah, let me point you just the other way. Over there, you can see Quicksilver, which is the Silver A4, and 10,000, which is the rebuilt W1 Hush Hush. Oh, thanks, Tammy. That's very nice of you. And it's nice to see that Ray is getting into the chat and, yeah, overcoming what that means to get into the chat. It's difficult chatting. It takes a lot of getting used to. The more the merrier. And thanks for that. It's very kind of you. We all try our best. Tim, it would look nice on Andy's layout. What was it? Nice, Brian, make good use of it. I've missed something. Let me just go back a little ways. Tim, the one I gave you. It's obviously something that was in Brian's Hornby resin signal box. Yeah, that's the thing. I have to go for plastic or resin because anything wood or card will distort in this shed. It takes a few years to find that out. Depending on how well you build it and how thick the materials are, it may take an awful long time to bend, but bend it will. Even the back seams tend to crinkle up in the winter because they obviously, being paper, they absorb the moisture and it makes them bigger. And then they shrink and the wrinkles pull out, which is strange but true. I'm afraid that's shed or loft life for you. Ideally, a room in the house is the best place for a model railway, and probably Brian would bear that out, and probably Mark at Donegal Dad as well, and of course Anthony, who has his layout in a basement. Good morning, Charlie, from Partick Hill Station. You see, I can pronounce it right. Good morning, Andy, and all in the chat. My phone is charging. I'm watching on the big screen. Ah, super. Well, cheers, Charlie. This is a coffee, by the way. And yes, there is some in it. Right, let's try a little trackside stuff, shall we? Right, I'll just... sorry about the vomit cam. I'll be as close as I dare. There we go. And up a little bit. There we go. Should be able to see just about everything now as it comes around. Here comes the spam can in Photographic Grey. Yeah, I nicked the Silver Jubilee pages from the A4 set. There goes Tornado in Photographic Grey with its support coach. And yes, Backman did a support coach for it. Yeah, Brian. I was thinking to myself, yeah, brilliant. Brian's got it right. Yeah, Arrowville, it's not really a lift-up flat. Where I've put the camera, I've literally put you right on the join between the two. It's not a lift-up, but I can take it out with a lot of faff. I may well get some precision hinges and do a lift up, because I can do it, but that will be a lot of work. Current layout is an in-scale shelf layout until I find decent slips free on Facebook. Yeah, trying to find the space and the time and the money and the mojo to get it done. All of those things have a bearing on it. You really have to strike while the iron's hot. If you're going to do it at all, you have to do it while you're hot to do it. Right, we've got a quarter of an hour to go. I'll do a quick change of some of the locos. So give me a minute. I'll bring it right round inside the camera. And I'll bring it to a stop. Whoop. Too much. Yeah, it's much better now. There's still something not quite right in there. I might have to give that a little strip down, but another time. Right, here we go. Triangle. Right, here we go. Alley up. La 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 la. Forgive me a moment. I can't look at the chat and do this at the same time. Right, what shall we have on there? How about Quicksilver? Right, let's get Quicksilver sorted out. There we go. Just when you think it's on, and it's off. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Well, at least I don't have to worry about that too much. I think that is there. Right, let's get us started off. Yeah. Quicksilver. Right, and on the other side, I'll bring Tornado to a halt and we'll get the super one out. There you go. Right, quickly now. Right, off you come, my beauty. And she is a beauty. No two ways about it. That is a cracking locomotive. One of Backy's finest. Right. And here comes. Oh, wrong way round. Hang on, I'm just going to have to turn around. It's not easy to do in the hands. There we go. Come on, putty fingers. Right, the front's on. There we go. Right, I don't have to worry about the wheels under there because it's got no blooming flanges on it. Thanks, Hornby. I'd rather struggle with it than have wheels without flanges. Right. There we go. I believe that's on. Right, let's get this started and we'll soon find out. Yes, indeed. Oh, what's that, Alan? There's GWR Buckley Junction. Hello, Sean. How are you, man? What's that? Hi, Andy. There's Andy Dobson. Now, which Alan was that? Alan Reynolds. Not stopping. Just to say hello. He's off to the pub. Oh, yeah, nice one. Have one for me. Right, I'll just pop you around and give you a little different aspect. How's that? Gardening duty. I understand. I'll just slow Quicksilver down a bit. She's tramping on a bit. That's and Closet Adventures. Full view. It possibly looks bigger on video than it actually does in person. So, am I using DC or DCC for engine control? What system am I using for points and signals? Right, the most basic point control you can have. They're literally PL10 Pico point motors, bang bang point motors, solenoids underneath the layout, connected to the points. Nice and simple, using Pico switches. I'm under DC control because these don't have any chips in them. Will be fairly easy to fit, but if you're going to go with models like this, I tend to go for the lock sound, and that takes time because it takes a lot of money. Then you have to pick and choose which you want to do. Yeah, I can give you a brief example. All right. Here is a typical crossover. If I activate the points, they both go at the same time. Let's just pop you down on the track. Sorry about Jerko vision. Yeah, so let me just grab you again. Point control looks like this. So what you've got there is a set of points. I've just given myself a rudimentary lighting system So when I do change the points, I get a red lamp. Same applies over here, like that, and off. Just by running a little bit of copper round to there. On the actual signal arms, I just wrap the copper around, and as the two make contact at this end, I get the light come up, and it gives me an indication that the road is still closed. These over here are just isolating or unisolating for when I use DC. When I use DCC, I can open them all up and just use the addresses. So yeah, it's a DCC hash, really. One of the covers has fallen off that one. As you can see, that's a shunting dwarf signal. Let's just pop that. Which one is it? Is it that one? No, not that one. I'll wait until the train's gone past. And it looks something like this. When the point goes, I can do that. And when I close it, it's back to there. How's that? For control, I have two of those, which is a gauge master with a walkabout. So that gives me my two tracks. And then there's a simple quadruple switch there, a quadruple pole switch, which allows me to change over from DC to off to DCC. So it's literally a 3-point switch, but the center off gives separation between the DC and the DCC, so there's never a flashover. So that's what I've got for control. When I go to DCC, there's my trusty power cab. And that's it. It's a nice, as easy as I can make it, to tell you the truth. Let's put it this way. It's what I had in my head before I started, and to my own credit, I did manage to follow it through. Signals. Okay. Signal is there. You should see that about now. As the train goes around, there's a series of boards underneath the layout, which gives you the sequencing. There is one a little bit further around. I'll show you the next one, which is over there. I believe you can see it from there. Yes, you can see the signal. Goes yellow, then double yellow, and it should go back to green just before the train gets to it. Yep. And then red again. Yes, I have one capacitor discharge unit, Brian. It's an old AMR unit, which I've got second hand. It's got a massive great capacitor in it, and it does the job. Charges up really good. If I had to replace it, I'd probably go for a Gauge Master one. The signals, Anvil, are completely self-contained. They're connected to each other via wires under the baseboard to the four boards that control the lights, but there's no interaction between there and the track. So it's not, it only gives the impression of being in blocks, because as the train moves around, the aspects of the signal changes, but there's no interaction with the track. So if you had a sudden derailment, no, it wouldn't all go to red. It would just carry on as normal. Okay, Pete, thanks for coming in, man.